Hello and welcome back to another Sub CLE. Today we have somebody that I've known quite some time, but we haven't really interacted too much over the years, but we're interacting now. Scott.
What's up? Good to be here, man. Good to see you, too. It's good to be reconnected and a lot of fun so far. Hanging out telling some old stories.
I hope so. Maybe you can fill me on some of the things that, like, maybe I forgot or whatever.
But I probably forgot something, too. It's been a long time.
But this is Scott from, I don't know, a bunch of things, but I remember him from Gutted. All right. No? All right. Tell me. So let's go from there.
Sure.
I do want to say, first of all, when I think of like death metal vocals and stuff like that, I always, and you don't know this, I'm going to tell you right now, I always say the best vocals are this band Odius Sanction.
Thank you.
I just gave it away.
I appreciate that.
And
thank you.
You sound like an angry man, you know? And it's not like some like otherworldly being or some demon or whatever. You sound like an angry man, just like, and dude, I love it. And I love everything about Odious Sanction.
Thank you.
I sincerely do. But let's go with the whole Gutted. How did Gutted come about? And we had Steve on here.
Yeah.
And so we kind of know a little bit of the history. Let's hear your version.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so Steve being my best friend, and right now Steve's in Europe, traveling with Immolation, so It's going very well. I've been talking to him through the past 2 weeks. So we were in high school. We went to Riverside High School, which where I live, I can literally see the school. So
Riverside, it sounds like something like out of a story or something.
It kind of is, yeah. It was actually a river. So back then I was playing, how I got into music. I mean, my mom always listened to music, and me and my brother were raised, and my brother started playing guitar, and that got me into it. But then when I was in junior high, I started playing trumpet, tuba, and baritone. So I was reading music, and I just really liked it. It got me into it. But that's how I met Steve. So I met Steve in school. So Steve was really itching to play a metal band, and he met me. And then when we met, I was listening to like Deicide and Entombed and Obituary, and he was more listening to like Anthrax and King Diamond. So it's pretty cool because it's still that way with me and Steve today. Like the death metal, he likes the death metal. Like we agree on everything, but he likes a little different flavor than I do. So we were talking, and we're getting really excited about it. And he had me over his house. He showed me his drum set, and I was trying to play and stuff, and we were just getting it all figured out. So he was back then we didn't have like cell phones or anything like that or computers. So the Scene magazine is where we would always try to find like other musicians. So we go to the mall, we go to Camelot Music, get the latest death metal albums. Camelot. And then we grabbed the Scene magazine. So he grabbed the Scene magazine, and there was an ad from, if everyone remembers, Scott Hilberg from Somnus, which he played with us, and then he went to Somnus. But Scott Hilberg and another man, Joe Mitchell, had an ad in there, and they were looking for a drummer and a bass player and a singer. So Steve hit the ad up, and we drove out to the west side. I forget exactly where it was, State Road or something out here, somewhere in Parma. And we tried out, and it worked out. So then that's basically how we got Gutted to start to go. So at that point, it was Joe Mitchell. He was on guitar. Scott Hilberg was on guitar. I was playing bass and singing, and Steve was playing drums. Joe didn't last too long. Super cool guy. Joe's awesome. I'd love to see him. I haven't seen that guy in like decades.
Right.
But we need a guitar player, so we were going to school, and Justin Endries is a very dear friend of ours, and so we grabbed Justin and asked him if he wanted to do it, and he hopped right in. So thus that began the birth of Gutted. That's how we got started.
Nice. So, okay. So you're Gutted.
Mm-hmm.
What are you guys doing at that point?
So the cool thing back then, besides partying, a lot of partying, but we just love death metal, and we were all hooked on Key albums, So like for me, especially with the vocals, when I was singing low and Gutted, I was all low vocals. So like I was really into Suffocations, Effigies of Forgotten, and I love Chris Barnes and like Butchered at Birth. Like Butchered at Birth, when I still listen to that record, I know a lot of people like Tomb of the Mutilate, which I totally love that album too, but like Butcher's just got this special sauce, and like to this day when I hear his vocals, it's just so brutal. So like I was just really like yeah, dude, I want to do that, So we were just like we loved all the death metal. We didn't want to rip the death metal off, but we were heavily influenced by it. But one thing about us is back then we were listening to a lot of thrash, and we were just listening to all metal hardcore. So we wanted to like we just loved heavy riffs.
Right.
It wasn't like necessarily like we like this band for the style. It's like every time any band would hit a heavy riff, no matter what style, it was like, oh, you know. So we basically with Gutted, which turned into Odious, we just wanted to like put the heavy riffs in the blender of all styles and just make it into like one song, so that Odious was capturing everything.
So, well, I'm curious. Well, all right, that's all great and all. It's amazing. But what made you want to start making music and pick your instrument? Like what caused that?
It's basically my brother. So there's a Christmas, my mom bought him a PV half stack, and he took it downstairs. And my brother's a really good player too, and he's been in a couple bands with me throughout the years, like Mercury Lake and stuff. And he was just playing the guitar, and I was just watching him. I was just mesmerized as a kid. I was like, oh man, like it's awesome. So he helped me a couple years after that. I got like a little Gorilla amp and a Metal Zone pedal, and I really, really loved Slayer South to Heaven, man. Just really drawn to that.
I agree.
And so like I spent like a whole year just learning how to play guitar to that album, and finally, I got good and just got it. So like learning how to play guitar and then starting to play with bands. It was like really crazy back then as a kid. Like when you're like with other guys, all of a sudden you start playing and it's live, and it's like, oh wow, you get this crazy feeling. And I just really liked that. So it's pretty much what got me into music. Now my mom just raised us on music. It was just nonstop.
She did.
Oh yeah. My mom.
Like how?
So like on the weekends, like her friends would be over and they'd be like dancing in the living room, having some beers. There's like that Dead Skunk in the Middle of the Road song, and like Leonard Skinner, just like later on she got into like Loverboy and just stuff. But the music would be loud, so me and my brother would just be like, wow, so we were just always surrounded by like classic rock and stuff like that, and we just took to us, so we really liked it, so we just kind of went and pushed.
So but what a lot of people have that experience, but what made you pick up the instrument?
I would say metal.
Yeah.
I just heard metal, and it just with metal, when I first heard it, the first like death metal band I ever heard was Napalm Death.
Sure.
And it didn't make any sense to me, but I was mad because I wanted to make sense, but I just couldn't understand it. It was just going way faster than everything else, and it didn't make any sense. And right at that time, I came across the first Deicide too, and the same thing. But then like one day it just clicked, and I understood it, and I was like, And I think once those albums grabbed me, and I felt what they were doing, and just me being an angry person, as you already discussed briefly.
Well, I think that was off camera.
No. So me being an angry person, a lot of my anger comes into my music, but that's what I liked about death metal is like, I got a lot of anxiety. I'm a pretty intense guy. So just feeling that so I think all that together just what drove me to start playing music.
Well, I think, I for myself included, you gravitate towards metal, because you have some kind of frustration built up inside of you and whatever, and it could happen to anyone, and it's we probably weren't growing up in I don't know, our parents weren't making millions of dollars, let's say.
No, not at all.
So no, and I get it. And I think that I think there was a couple bands, I've probably said it a bunch of times on here. But when you hear that aggression, it's something that like connects, and it's like, yes, I feel this way too.
Yes.
But so you ended up having that feeling, and then you were like, all right, I want to play guitar.
Yeah, it actually started with bass guitar.
Okay.
So before, I can't remember the exact timeline, but we also had a dear friend, John Poling, and Brian Pomeroy. So I was like playing bass, but I didn't really know what I was doing. But Brian Palmer was playing drums and John was playing guitar. So they're like, just come over, let's just try it. So we started this band called Psycho Ward. And it was a good learning curve for me. Like at first I was like just flopping on strings. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. But then we got it, and it was just like, it was a really cool thing, just feeling like that unit between the three of us and actually hitting riffs. And it's all loud, and So, yeah, it started with bass. I mean, it basically started with trumpet, tuba, baritone, just
Sure.
that, and then my mom pounded us with music, which
and
was
you
fantastic.
understand that lower tone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tuba was rough, man. A lot of wind to play that thing, man. But, yeah, so then with Psycho Ward, and then I just kept playing, man. Just like even today, I just play every day. I grab a guitar, I grab something, man. I'm always playing. I like to play.
So you met Steve, got this gutted band together. What were you guys doing? Like, what were you playing shows or?
Yeah, once we we practiced a lot. It's a cool thing about Steve, man. Like he drives hard, and I love it. He's a very dedicated person, and I'm very happy for him to where he's at today. He deserves it because that dude, he practices when he's here, we're always talking that dude plays his drums every day. He gets off work, goes straight to the spot. So Steve was just adamant about us practicing. And, he moved out to Cleveland at a young age and, Hilberg and all those guys. And so we would just practice every day. And then once we were ready, our main gig is we met Decrepit, we met those guys like Chris Dorr and the gang. We met all the guys out here, which everybody was real cool.
Chris Dorr has been on here.
Yeah, Dorr is awesome, man. Love him to death. Matt Sorg, we can go on and out the whole list.
Yeah,
of those
he's
guys.
been on here. Yeah.
So we got to know all those guys, and there was clubs like Mr. Ease In, which I think is the Foundry now.
Well, I don't. Is it the Foundry or is it?
I think it's the Foundry. I think it's where they moved.
Or did they knock it down? Or I don't know. It is. I'm
pretty sure. I still had the tile floor when I saw pictures of it.
Sure. Okay.
So, but the main thing, so the main push, I'm kind of skipping some steps here. So with Gutted, the main push was we caught on to this musicians' nights at Flashes. And Gio, who we owe a major amount to, that guy helped us so much. Gio was awesome with Flashes, man. So we would every Tuesday, we get in the parking lot. And we'd wait, and we'd sign our name up on the band,
right?
And then they have the host band, and then we got to play their stuff. And then Jim Connie would be out in the parking lot doing all the skits with Dora and all of us, and we'd be laughing and having fun. And we just kept doing those, every Tuesday. We'd go into school dead tired because we wouldn't get home till 2 a.m. But then Gio just took notice, he thought we were doing good, so he just started putting us on better shows, and then he started getting us on national acts,
right?
And I think that's pretty much how we got going to the point where, we got big enough in the local scene to where we were able to make the transition, which we'll talk about.
Yeah, I would love to go on because I think that's my memory is a bit skewed, but
that's cool.
I'm pretty sure I met you waiting, because you would have to wait in line.
Yes,
to get on that musician's night Tuesday, and we met there, and then we ended up meeting again underneath Mr. E's, right? And that's so Gio was on this podcast as well.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic. I gotta watch that. Great guy, man.
And because I don't think he understands what effect he had. On the music scene,
man,
and it was big, right?
Yeah, it was huge,
wasn't it?
Yeah, he helped the Cleveland scene tremendously. He did a lot of push for everybody. The shows he had there, I saw some of the sickest shows there. Pantera, Morbid Angel, Dead Horse, and Tomb. I saw everything there, man. It's crazy.
Well, and to him, it's it seemed I don't know. Everybody go back and watch that episode, but it just seemed like he kind of was it was a couple of years out of my life, whatever.
Yeah, to him it was just
but he's awesome. But I don't understand. I don't think he understands the effect that he had on, which is great.
Yeah, it was immense. Yeah, he's probably just running the club, just doing what he's doing, the business side of it. But that's the other thing he taught us, in the early stages. We were kids basically when we met him, but he taught us the business side of it. And we're like, oh, that's cool. We didn't, we're just we just want to play, And he was like, yeah, but business, you got to do this, this, and this. And we're like, So yeah, he did have a huge impact. I miss Flashes, so many good times, so many good shows.
Great.
Met a lot of famous musicians there. Just good time.
Yeah. So Flashes, and then Peabody's obviously was
another staple.
Yeah. I mean,
all the big bands that come through.
Yeah. Okay. So all right. So why change the name from Gutted?
So there was a band, and pardon my memory, They were from like Michigan or somewhere not too far away. But there's another band that came out called Gutted.
Okay.
And they got signed, and they were like locked in. So we were like, okay, cool, we got to change the name. So out of respect for that, we just didn't want to be out there trying to do the we're gutted, no, you're gutted. It's fine. So they got the name. They put an album out. It's a good album too.
Nice.
So we, we just shifted gears, which I'm glad we did.
Yeah. Well, because I think Odius Sanction is awesome. Where did you come up with that name?
So that was Steve. It's all Steve. Okay. Man. Steve's a very educated fella, so he was, and he has the way he thinks. So he was just digging through, and it's a name that came up. But also, we really liked that name too because back then, it was like, obviously, I'm not ripping these names by any stretch. I'm just saying it's like death, cancer, rigor mortis, and then Odious Sanction. It just popped. It was just different. But it also represented our style because we weren't really strictly just a death metal band,
So you had some member changes over the years. Like, what's up with that?
So direct. Yeah. So the first change was Scott, who's a great guitar player and a very talented guy, Scott Hilberg. And I miss him, man. I wish it'd be nice to talk to him again.
Nice.
He wanted to go in a different direction as we did. And so he went and did Somnus. And I was very happy. It was very successful too. And Somnus was good. So right when that was happening, Steve was doing a side project called Dark Century. So Gene Burnworth and there was the twins, Alan and Tracy Revercombe, I do believe their names were. And then they had a guy named Bumper Pavlich playing drums. And something happened with Bumper. He couldn't play drums anymore. And we met Gene at Flashes.
Nice.
Because Dark Century, it was the night we were playing too. Dark Century did their video premiere. So like the screen dropped down. And then it was a Dark Century video. They were playing out in there. Like they had like a fire going in like a field. And they're out there jamming and shit.
Right.
And it was really fucking heavy. We're like, oh yeah. So like Gene and Steve met. And Gene needed a drummer. So Gene was doing double duty, or Steve was doing double duty. He would go out to Vermilion and do Dark Century, then he'd come back and do Odious practices. So that's how we got to meet Gene. And then I think Dark Century just kind of fell through, and we needed a guitar player because Hilbert went on to do Somnus. So we grabbed Gene, and Gene came out, and we started working with him. And then that's pretty much when the true Odious Sanction began. Along the way, we had Justin Edries. He was there for a while. And then Justin ended up leaving the band for personal reasons. And so then we got Kevin Farley. So by the time we got to like Psychotically Enraged, I know I'm skipping like Ignorant Waste and Punishment of Life, those EPs. By the time we got to Psychotically Enraged, that's when Odious Sanction was truly locked in. And that was like the core of the band.
Why would you skip those though?
Well, just working on the member change timeline.
Oh, gotcha.
So going back in time, so with Scott Hilberg, me, and Justin and Steve, we did it turned out to be a demo, but there was actually a full album, the Gray demo, we call it. And we shared the studio with our buddy Eric Frabata at Modern Recording Studios, and their band was doing an album, we were doing an album. And we did like 8 or 9 songs, which is now available on Bandcamp. All that's up. All of our archives on Bandcamp, including that full-length album that no one ever heard. But for some reason, we just decided to pick the 3 songs we liked off it. So we did like this Gray tape demo, and Scott Hilberg's girlfriend Wendy at the time, she did like the logo for us, so it's like a little different kind of a logo. It's pretty cool. So we put that out, and then that's in between that and the Ignorant Waste demos when we lost Hilberg, and that's when we got Gene. So then it was me, Justin, Gene, and Steve, and then Hemdale came over to Steve's dad's house, and they brought a portable recording studio. So we went in the basement of Steve's house and we recorded the Ignorant Waste demo. And then between that and Psychotically Enraged, Justin left, and that's when we got Kevin Farley. He was playing with A Few Askew, and then Kevin joined the ranks.
A Few Askew.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, good
we
band.
Can get into that.
Yeah, Tony Bellante and the gang. So Kevin got in the band, and that's when we really locked in. And man, we were playing like every single day. We had this house out in Hamden, Ohio, called the Dirt Mansion, and it was filthy. Like it was a filthy house, but it was pretty awesome.
Hampton?
Chardon, just out, it's like east of Chardon.
Okay.
Yeah, so the house looked dilapidated. When you walked in, like the living room was the practice spot, and then we all just lived in the back of the house. But we were playing like 6-7 days a week, and we were just like locking in. So we recorded Psychotic, and everyone really seemed to like that record a lot.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was awesome.
Yeah. Gene put a lot of. I gotta give it to Gene's probably one of the sickest guitar players I've been around for that style. Like he's a bluegrass player. He comes from bluegrass and stuff.
Sure.
But he was just very.
So he knows how to play fast.
Yes, he was adamant, and he's all about precision. Like, so basically that's like with the member changes. That's how we got to Psychotic.
Nice. So, once you were at Psychotically Enraged, what happened? What are you guys doing? You looking for like labels, or you looking for to be signed or something? What's going on?
Well, of course we were. We were all young though, just kind of like, the band was important, but we're all kind of doing different things.
Sure.
Steve obviously just driven to play. At that time, as we did a lot of shows with Psychotic. I mean, we played out of state. We're doing some stuff, but then Gene eventually opened up Pit Cleveland, if everybody remembers that.
Yeah.
And which was cool. And Gene also did a lot of good for Cleveland too, man. He had a lot of killer shows there and brought a lot of people in. So I think Gene, at some point, his focus was just like that club, and he was into that. And so then, unfortunately, we parted ways, and so then it was me and Steve. And we're just sitting there looking at each other like, what do we do now?
Well, which is amazing to me because, I mean, so I don't know. Obviously, love your vocals. First time I ever seen Steve play, he's like playing these like intricate kind of like jazz beats. And I'm like, I don't know, 17 maybe, and then he like transitions right into a death blast.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? This guy's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, he was doing marching band in school. He did jazz classes.
Yeah.
So, like, he had all that. And then, like, when we met, he was, listening to thrash. I turned him on to death metal. So he just grabbed all of that, went with it for his drumming.
So I'm curious as to why maybe, like, why wouldn't somebody be like, I don't know. It just seems as though, well, obviously Steve is in immolation now, whatever. But I'm just curious as to why, like, because I think you guys are fucking amazing musicians. Why did these guys like quit this band? Like, I don't know.
So one thing with the Odious Sanction, behind the scenes is like we're all Taurus, all four of us.
Yeah.
And it was pretty angry. Like there's a lot of angry sessions, it's being a band, young, you're angry. Odious is hard, like me getting ready to release this album, the work I had to put in on the guitar, which I'll never be Gene, but I'm extraordinarily proud of what I've done. But like to play guitar like Gene, like, woof, it's a bruiser.
So wait, you're talking about this new album you're putting out?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, so
yeah,
okay.
So like Hard Steps to Follow playing after Gene, but like Gene and Steve, they agreed on most stuff, but like in the writing process, there'd be times where any band can relate to this.
Sure.
They just didn't quite agree.
I always said being in a band is like being married to like 3 different people.
100%, man. So things,
and being married to one person is hard.
Yes. Yeah, you're trying to make lives connect.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's just over time. I don't know. It's just practices and you're trying and you're working and just sometimes you just don't see eye to eye and stuff like that. One thing with Odious, back then there wasn't like really metronomes and stuff like that. And
sure.
So like,
well, you had Steve, so
yeah, and like Steve, like Steve was a very intelligent guy, so he's always like paying attention to who the new fastest, best drummers are. So then like I remember when Origins and Humus came out, like, and Steve was freaked out, like John Longstreth. He was like, "What the fuck is this?" So then all of a sudden, like Odious practices are like 3 million miles an hour, and then Gene's like, "What the fuck, dude?" Like,
yeah.
So but I think it's just more just like just life,
Yeah.
Gene was with Christy and they were doing the Pit, not together. Steve was just like, I want to go on tour, I want to go do that stuff. I was kind of doing my thing, so it just it just happens.
So so this new stuff that you're doing, so you're doing some I don't know, some new Odious Sanction stuff, which I'm pretty excited about. But you are also doing some solo stuff, which you sent me 3 tracks.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, that shit's brutal as AF, as the kids say.
Thank you.
And dude, it's awesome, dude.
I appreciate it.
So how'd that come about?
So again, my best friend Steve's a great motivator for me, and we skipped a quick chapter in Odious with no motivation to live.
Sorry.
We can get no, don't be sorry. We can get back to that too. So basically, what happens, like Steve's very busy, so we'll be getting things going, even when we're doing No Motivation Live is basically when he got the immolation gig.
So Steve is involved in this.
He is not.
Okay.
But he's involved in the fact that when he goes and does his stuff, it drives me to go do something else.
Oh, I gotcha.
So let's kick back in time. So
Okay.
once Gene was gone, so me and Steve were sitting there. So we went on to do No Motivation Live. So I had to play guitar and sing.
Okay.
And then we found this guy, Adam Schwann. I taught him how to play bass, and then we cut that album. But right after we cut that album, Steve got the immolation gig. So Steve, all of a sudden, like, I don't know where he's gone. He's with Immo. He's on tour. So that's when I called my friend Eric Frabada, and I was like, hey, I got a band name called Stresslord. You want to come over and like let's start hammering this thing out, you know? Yeah. So by the time Steve got back, we already had an album recorded and ready to go, was programmed to destroy. But also, like, when Steve left, it was just the way I work. Like, I want to keep playing, and I'm happy for him, but I want to keep music going, you know? So with that, we got Stresslord going, but it also taught me that, you know, like, I can just do stuff while he's gone. And then, so, like, while doing Stresslord, and then I got going with Law of Destruction with John Capri and Justin.
Well, hold on. Yeah, because I want to know more about Stresslord.
Sure.
How'd you get the guys going for that?
So, back in the day when we recorded that Gray album, there's this band Inhumation, which was Eric Frabada and Adam Gallagher. Eric's the drummer, Adam's the bass player, who we went to school with.
Okay.
So the cool thing, like way back then, we go to Adam Gallagher's dad's house and they'd be jamming in the basement, but they're playing like just slamcore long before slamcore even existed, you know, just big chunky riffs.
What is slamcore?
Just like, so back then everything's thrash and ride beats and Rain and Blood, you know, these are like ding, 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 you know, they were just like, just breaking the basement with heavy riffs, you know, kind of thing. So when Steve left, I mean, me and Eric, we always shared a deep love for death metal and stuff. And every time, like, he called me, I got Effigy to Forgotten, you got to come over, you know, and I come over, like, holy shit, we're like freaking out and stuff, you know, listen to Effigy. So when Steve left, I called Eric, I'm like, let's start this band, you know, let's just get it going. So my brother played bass, and Adam Rogers was a singer, I was a guitar player, and Eric was a drummer. And we had a pretty good run, man. We did a lot of shows and stuff. We did Program to Destroy, the first album. And then, so Stresslord's just been on and off through the years. Like, we'll do some stuff, and then everybody get busy, and we'll come back and do another one.
So would you say, like, Stresslord is like your baby, your project, kind of?
I would say it's me and Eric's together.
Okay.
Me and Eric don't move on it without each other, just because we've both been there since the beginning. And me and him are like the existing, the existing members. And we just put a 5-songer out last year. We got a video up too. But right now, like, you know, we've been kind of talking about getting back together with that.
I love that name, by the way.
What, Stresslord?
Yeah. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah, some of the people online were like, oh, it's religious. I'm like, no. Like, work and money and stuff. It's just, it's the Lord of my life, you know, because you get stressed out about it. That's kind of what the meaning was. Just to the point kind of thing.
Yeah.
And Stresslord was like a mid-tempo, just heavy. Me and Eric just love heavy riffs. You know,
and your voice, again, I'm going to go ahead and say this guy is fucking amazing.
Thank you.
No, seriously.
I appreciate it.
Man. No, I really do. I'm glad I have the chance to tell you in person that I think it's amazing. Yeah. I think you like that whole metal, you know, tone. You capture that whole like just anger and just ferocity.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the deal with the Odius and my vocals. So remember, we were talking about when I was singing low. Yeah. The reason I started singing high is because Malevolent Creation, Brett Hoffman, and then John Tardy from Obituary.
Sure, so John Tardy is amazing.
But Brett Hoffman was my main, and then Luke LeMay from Gorgus, and obviously Chuck Schuldiner from Death.
Sure.
But I loved all the screaming, and I realized a lot of people weren't doing it, but I really liked it. And then I heard hardcore, and hardcore like just caught me.
Yes.
And if you listen to Odious, I mean, we're flying, but there's a lot of hardcore in there.
It is hardcore.
We love it. Every hardcore band we come across, we're like, what the hell is this? You know, because it was just real. It was just straight out of the factory, fighting in a bar, anger, like, you know, we just love that raw intensity. So like hardcore was like a huge thing for us too.
Yeah, it's, well, I'm gonna go Sepultura here, straight hate.
Love Sepultura, straight hate.
You know, that's what that is, right?
I remember back in the day we got this 3-song EP from this band called Coalesce, and it's just the most.
Oh yeah,
I played it for my girl last year, and she just like freaked out on it. It's old, man. It just is so brutally heavy, but he's just like rah! He's just like chewing the microphone off. Like, oh, like it freaked out by the intensity of how mad this guy is. So
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying. So, like with us and Odius, like we're all pretty mad guys. I mean, we're the friendliest people in the world. You come talk to us, we'll hang out. But
you
like,
guys are. You sit here and say you're mad, but I'm like, man. Every time I meet you guys, or run into you, it's like you guys are like the best people ever.
yeah. I mean, we love. Thank you. And same to you too, man. I mean, we love, but there's just a burning thing inside of us.
Sure. It's
thank God for death metal so we can get it out.
Right. Well, and it's I've said this many times. That when you take in a lot, and sure, I mean, as we're doing right now, with you take in so much with TV and movies and whatever.
Oh, yeah.
If you're not like it, so it's like your lungs, you're breathing in and you're breathing out. Your brain's the same way, right?
Agreed.
And it's like you breathe in all this stuff in your brain, and if you don't breathe it out, it's probably going to be like you're going to have to take like anxiety medication or whatever. You know what I mean? Or you can just play death metal.
Correct. Best medication ever.
Or, you know what I mean? Or express yourself in some way, right?
I feel even besides death metal for anyone, I feel bad for people that don't have like an artistic form that they
Sure.
Like I feel that life right now like is getting away from art, which is pretty scary. And I'm not even talking about just me doing death, but I'm talking about art in general, like paintings, anything where just someone's not worried about money and they're just expressing themselves.
Right.
I feel like right now it's just all about cash, and it's just, which of course you need money to live, and totally understandable. But like it's always the art
irrelevant.
The art's like when a cool piece of art comes out, it's what changes society if it's cool enough. It makes people think a different way, and they're like,
absolutely.
I feel like we're getting away from that, so it's kind of. So we gotta just keep playing, man. That's my opinion.
Keep playing music.
Yeah.
I completely agree. So, all right, I digress. Where were we with these? All right, so you're Stresslord.
So yeah, we were talking about me doing stuff on my own, and we went back to Stresslord.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, Stresslord's an awesome band. I love it. Eric is like me and Eric. Like, I love writing with Eric because we don't. It's easy for us. We're like, that's heavy. Yeah. That, and whether anyone likes it or not, that's fine. We just like agree when we write it. So like getting to like some of the projects I'm doing right now. So I got ZWR 777, which is, I should have released it long ago, but I'm just picky.
What is that again? What it was?
ZWR 777.
Okay. So was that religious in some way?
No.
777? Right? No. It reminds me of like Striper.
Yeah.
Right?
No, nothing religious. Maybe happy. It's my gamer tag in the gamer world.
Okay.
So like I was frustrated because I was trying to figure out a band name for this thing, and like everything was taken. So I'm like, my gamer tag. Let's just go with that. But what I love about it is like most people don't know that.
777?
I don't know. Happy. I don't know.
Okay.
I have no idea.
All right.
It just seemed to click because everything's 666.
Right.
So let's go 777.
Well, I think Slipknot. Did
the 555?
If you're 555, then I'm 666.
Don't you know you're a heretic?
Yeah.
I do like that too. It's a jam. Pretty heavy.
Yeah. So same thing, kind of.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I was frustrated. But I'm excited to release that. That's gonna be later. But it's pretty in depth. It's like a pretty full blown death metal project. A lot of flying double bass and stuff. So I did that on the side. And then the other humans I sent you. So like we just got done with the Odius,
which is amazing.
Which is a lot of work. Thank you. Odius was a lot of work, and I love working with Steve because like me and him like challenge each other, and we made sure that this record is coming out, which we're very excited about. That we both worked together and we had equal input, and like we challenged each other through it, but the end product. But now that it was done and he went on tour, I'm like, I'm ready to do something raw, And I was like, I really love Terrorizer and I love Hay Plow. I love that grind. I just love the grind, but I don't really hear too much of it. So I was like, I'm just going to sit down one. It was a Saturday. I'm going to sit down and just write a couple songs and see what happens. And I'm not going to overthink it. Like whatever happens. And when I sang the lyrics, I just sang what was on my mind and wrote it down.
Yeah.
And so Other Humans is what came out of it.
Humans. I love that name. When you sent that to me, I was like, okay, whatever. I'm listening to music, and then I'm like, well, because I was actually taking a shower at the time, and I was like listening to it. I'm like, man, it's fucking brutal shit, dude. Brutal.
Thanks.
And yeah, I know, right?
That's a compliment for me.
Yeah,
man.
it's a compliment, right, yeah. And I'm like, fuck, this is awesome. And then whatever, I didn't see. And then like I get out of the shower and I fucking look, and I'm like, other humans. I'm like, dude, this is fucking perfect, dude.
Yeah.
It's.
I mean, pretty much the name obviously is, there's just,
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm a great human, but there's a lot of bad humans out there. And
Sure.
so that's kind of what the lyrics and the title just kind of
Love it.
relate to. And then a classic, I got the Ohio outline on the name, but then OH.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Yeah.
Other humans. So it's kind of like Ohio.
That's awesome. Cool. Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun to do. It took me 6 hours to write it. And then,
when I've been really? That's it?
Yeah. Yeah, literally. I was like, no thought. Because Odius, it's like a science experiment. It took us like 3 years to get to where we are with the Odius. Like, we've been working on that for 3 years. So it's just nice just to bust something out.
So you just kind of like let go. You just kind of like, we're like, yeah, whatever, man. And that's what everyone wants. Like, as a musician, like every time I sit down or to make music, I just want to let go.
Yeah.
You don't want to think about it.
Correct.
That's
why I like doing projects by myself. It's just, I mean, we're going to fight with myself. Right. Of course, I'm going to agree with like what I do, But I do agree with like Steve and Carly, and like it's good to play with other people too. You always want to have other people's flavor.
Sure. And that's the thing. That's a beautiful thing is like when you like just can let go, whatever. And in the truest meaning, and then you write this thing, you present it to somebody, and then they're like, well, I kind of see this in it. Don't fight against that.
Yeah.
Let it happen.
It's for anyone's interpretation.
Yeah. So that's what that is.
Pretty much, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Also keeps me busy while Steve's gone. Yeah, so a busy year for us. It's kind of rough here to try to get this Odius done because obviously Immolation dropped a new album, which is fantastic. Great album. Yeah. Those guys, man, like they just flawless. Nicest guys too. I love Bob and Ross and
they
Alex.
seem like it.
They're all cool.
I never met them, but
they're super cool, man. Super friendly guys. So Steve just had a pretty big busy year. So like while he's been like touring and coming back, and we've been working with Noah and just trying to like wrap things up and get it close. We're basically down to I think we're down to mix and master. So when Steve gets back, we'll get a hold of Noah and then we'll start getting that done. We're looking for probably around a Halloween release for that album.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I thought that'd be a good time for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to tell you, Noah, fucking amazing.
He's awesome, man.
That guy is fucking awesome.
He's smart, dude, and he's down to earth. And one thing I love about working with Noah is like I'm sure he can pick off that my anxiety's high when I'm beating myself up because I'm not nailing stuff, and like he keeps it extraordinarily happy while you're working through it. So just have fun, man. Come on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's fair. Good attitude, man. So and he's awesome. A pro, and he's like, I love when you're like recording with him. Like he's like mixing stuff as you record. Like he's just like on it.
Yeah.
Like, so he's real fun, man. He's fun time.
He's great. And dude, and he's I remember playing a show at Peabody's, and he was the sound guy, and he was like, is this how you want your amp EQ'd? And I'm like, well, do whatever you think.
Yeah. You got a better ear than me, buddy. Have at it.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. So what are you doing? So this is coming out, what, new Odius Sanction or?
Yeah, we got a lot going on this year. So yeah, we're looking at the Odius release roughly October. John Zig did our art. We just got that back. John Zig's cool. He did a killer job, excuse me.
So you can swear.
All right, sorry.
I don't make money off of this, dude.
He did a killer fucking job. No, John Zig did a killer job.
I do this for the love of it, dude. Trust me.
I love that you do it for that reason. Yeah, so we had John Zig do our album cover. He did a really killer job. We're very excited to release that. So, yeah, we're looking to have the Odius done by Halloween release. Other Humans I'm going to release on all platforms tomorrow. That'll be up, and I'll have a TikTok and Instagram and a Facebook for it. And then me, Steve, and Carlina, which is Steve's girlfriend, and she is the drummer of Castrator, which they've been very busy, and their latest album is killer. And I got to see them at No Class, and they just kicked ass, man. They were awesome. Fantastic band. Carlina is a very driven, very, very talented musician.
I looked into
she's
her.
Awesome.
Yeah, she's great.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
So we have a band called Untoward, which was basically her and Steve And it's not like a full-blown metal band or anything. It's a very artistic band. It's just kind of out there. We've done some shows and stuff. It's basically those two writing, and then they allowed me to come in and play bass. But what's cool about that is, especially because you like to play bass, and we were talking earlier, they let me like dance around it. So like I don't follow her. I follow her on like key parts, but then I'm like writing my own bass parts around it. So it's pretty cool. So we're looking later this year, once everything calms down with the tours and all that, we're gonna get in the studio, hopefully with Noah again, and record a full length with Untoward.
Sweet.
So we're gonna release that.
Yeah.
And probably once all that settles, then I'll probably get a hold of Eric, and then we'll try to rip out another Stresslord. So, and then I gotta get Z-Dub done. So a lot of stuff. And then I got my other project, Mercury Lake. I would like to get back to that at some point.
So wait, tell me more about Mercury Lake.
So Mercury Lake, when I was going through my divorce, it was a sad band. I was just sad, and I sat upstairs and just wrote it. And that's where I started learning.
Why Mercury?
Because I was in Lake Erie reading an article in the Scene magazine, nonetheless. It was a long time ago, and it was talking about how companies around the perimeter of the lake were buying credits for other people so they can dump more mercury into the lake and not pay the fine. Right. So I'm like, I'm standing in Mercury Lake. Oh, turns out there's a Mercury Lake in Michigan, an actual lake called that. But that's how I came up with the title.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's weird because I thought like, I went to school. I have a degree in environmental science, and like I just don't know. Like I thought like mercury was like more in like deep oceans. Like you're accumulating it there.
No, it's waste from the factories. You can only eat so much perch.
Yeah.
If you eat too much, you get overloaded with
mercury. So what are you saying? Like the factories?
Yeah, I mean this was like almost 2 decades ago, but they were just dumping waste into the lake. They're allowed to dump so much waste. Yeah. And then they have to pay a fine if they go over it. So some companies weren't dumping all of it, not using up their whole credit, and others were using more. So they'd go to the other companies and buy their credits up so that they can dump more and not pay more money to put waste in the lake.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yes. Wish I had the article. I'd also read right now. So that's how I came up with the name. I was standing literally in Lake Erie, and I was like, Mercury Lake. That's a pretty cool name.
Wow.
And it wasn't like again, just not a death metal name, like Bludgeon Guts or, it's just like Mercury Lake. I was like, that's pretty cool. Pretty smooth.
No, it sounds great. Yeah. It's like rolls off the tongue. Yeah. It's like, it's nice.
So that's like a whole nother. So, and Mercury Lake did a couple shows. I got people involved. My brother played bass for a while, and it was cool. I was the drummer at that point. I wrote the whole thing, but I was the drummer. But then it fell apart, and I realized just bringing people in, it wasn't a good idea. So I'm just going back to just doing it by myself.
So, I was having a discussion with one of my friends. He's retired. He's in his 70s, We were talking, and it's like, your favorite music, like everyone's going to say like between like probably 16 and 21, that's like the best music ever, right? I kind of want to ask you, like, outside of that, like, what do you see that's good? Like, outside of that, this
like musically?
Music. Well, of course. Yeah. Like
outside of my key years of my youngness.
Well, what do you think that's good new?
There's all kinds of stuff. I always try to stay relevant. I mean, a lot of the bands I'll name, probably my death metal people that know me will be like, fine. What's up, Yeah. I mean, there's a band, Volumes. I was really hooked on them. Ocean's 8 Alaska.
So I'm going to write these down. Yeah. And I'm going
to yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff, honestly. It's just fun. It's fun having the friends because you got some of the guys that stick to the old and they're never going to listen to new. But for me, I always try, again, it's the Odius Sanction formula. We're always looking for the heavy riff. So if you're if your band's called Bumblebee, but you hit this crazy heavy riff in the middle of it, then I'm like, hell yeah, I like it. So there's a lot of stuff. I kind of bounce around genres. Like I said, Ocean's 8 Alaska's Paradigm. He does singing stuff in there, but dude. The production is amazing, and when they hit these crazy heavy riffs, it's so heavy, dude. I get goosebumps every time I listen. I'm like, God, how do you get that heavy, man? It's just nuts, Also, the new Putridity is just ridiculous. It's crazy fast and it's just brutal. I mean, there's so much good stuff. I mean, I always just try to stay relevant. I just float around. My buddy Adam Gallagher, man, thank you, Adam. He always sends me like these heavy ass bands. So he sent me one that's funny, and Steve told me about him too. It's called Cardio Kills Gains, and it's just brutal, dude. It's just total crush. So there's all kinds of good stuff, man. Honestly, my girl turned me on this band, Field Dressed from Oklahoma. Okay. They only did 1 3-song demo, but it's just super slam. Orbital Gate. I mean, I can just go on and on. There's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to look up because cool. I don't know.
I could spit off like all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, right. So there's this one band. I cannot think of the name of them. I think they're fucking brutal as fuck. Can you talk about while I look this up?
Sure.
Can you talk about like something like I don't know. Are you guys? What's your next endeavor? What are you doing? Like what?
So, basically, the endeavors. I mean, despite what you told about this year for what we're trying to get accomplished. I mean, the main question we get asked is like with Odius, who's going to play it so you guys can do live shows. I mean, if we're going to keep it a traditional Odius set, which would be awesome, it would have to be like Justin Endries and Kevin Farley, and that's about as Odious it can possibly get with who's still around left for the band. So I mean, the main thing is like me and Steve are just curious to see how well this Odious is going to do, and we hope that the Sanction fans, accept it and feel it's a good product for what we are and what we do, and that's kind of what we're waiting to see.
You and Steve are still like tight.
Oh yeah,
working.
Yeah.
Which is 100%. Fucking amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we've been at it for years. I love Steve. I mean, the dude's, he's a famous drummer. He's world renowned, but like,
I watch like drum videos of him. I'm like, what the fuck? I know that guy.
He calls me, he checks up on me with tour. Like, we're working with John Zig on the artwork while he's doing this European tour. Like, we're firing back and forth. He'll just hit me up like, how you doing today? I'm like, cool. He's like, working on the Other Humans. What's up with you? He's like, I'm at this fest with Lamb of God and Deicide, Yeah, we're always rapping. And when he gets back, he's like, we got to get back to Odious and Untoured. I'm like, I'm down. So, yeah, I mean, we love to play. So that's what keeps our glue.
So I'm curious about that name, Untoured.
Untoured. Untoured.
What is that?
That's a question for Steve and Carlina.
Okay. I'll have Steve back on, or Carlina, whatever, and we'll find out. Yeah. This is going to be a cliffhanger right here.
Those guys, man, they were doing that band for a long time before. It's funny how I even got the gig, but they were doing that for like a couple years,
Oh, for that, okay.
And then, so like they hang out at my house all the time, and we got like basically like a whole full club downstairs. We got drum set, amps, everything.
Okay.
So we're pretty drunk, and they're like, let's play some Untoured, and I'm like, cool, you mind if I play bass? I don't know what I'm doing. They're like, yeah. So like I was playing bass, and I wasn't, I didn't know what I was doing, but they're like, that's awesome. And so that's how I got the gig. And so we started practicing. It's fun, man. I'm like you. I love playing bass. Like I hadn't played bass in a long time, and this band I chose to use my fingers instead of a pick, and I'm just doing like it's just a lot of fun, man.
So so I started. Somebody needed a bass player, and I was like, whatever, dude. I wasn't doing anything. My Kalo guys, kind of. I think Dilemma of Determination was I think what we were when I met you, I think. But Kalo is their last name, brothers, whatever. So where was I going with this? Sorry. I totally forgot. What was it? I completely forgot.
It's okay. Thank God for editing.
Well, I'm not going to edit it. But what was I saying?
We're talking about tour. We're talking about playing bass.
So when playing with those guys, he was a bass player, whatever, blah blah blah, and then I wasn't playing for a while, and then somebody was like, "Hey, you want to play?" Whatever. I was like, "Well, we need a bass player." I'm like, "Well, I can play guitar." So then I ended up playing bass, and it completely, I was like, oh, it's like it's like seeing something from a completely
Yeah.
different
It's
angle.
two different worlds for sure.
It's a completely different thing. And unless you've done it, you don't understand
know.
this. Because I was like, what? I was like, yeah, no, I can drive this thing, in a different way if I wanted to. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's completely
And there's so
completely different.
so much power with the bass guitar, man. Like
Yeah.
just that bottom, like just love it, man.
No, and it's great. And I have so much fun playing bass. Like guitar is great, yeah, you're the guy, whatever, blah blah blah. you know what I mean? But man, playing that bass, dude, like it's fun.
I like them both equally for different reasons. One thing I
Yeah.
love, I play a lot of guitar though. I love tone. I love tone, man. I just love when I
Sure.
have a killer crushing, like I'm just down, and like with guitar, like especially with metal, it's just easy to write because you're just like
Right.
you can just jump around. You're like, oh, that right there, that'll be sick.
Right.
And my favorites, like even when doing other humans, like I got it all written. I was like, ooh, it's time for the bass,
Yeah.
And then you hear the first one with the bass track, and it's just big, man. It's just epic. So like they're both just equally good for different reasons.
Sure.
And on tour, I get to like kind of write like a guitar in that band because I'm just moving around it instead of just following it. So that makes it really cool too. And I think of like John Paul Jones with like Led Zeppelin where he's just dancing all over the shit. It's awesome.
Dude, amazing stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and that's the thing, it's like, and we were talking, I think, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say if it was off camera or on camera or whatever. But when with metal bass, it's like kind of like it's restricted.
It is.
You're like
you follow.
You're following the note, like the
Yeah,
right?
I mean metal's like a well-oiled machine. Like everyone's just like gears in the machine working to make that sound.
No, and it's
you
not that that's a bad thing.
You take a band like Primus, like he's just he's.
Wow. I mean, Primus is a completely different thing. Have you heard the new song?
I have not.
It is amazing.
We will have to check that out when this is done. I'm down for that. Yeah, I love Primus.
No,
man.
he well, that guy is
he's
fucking
ridiculous, man.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
It's fucking out of this world. Yeah, absolutely. But all right. Well, what else you got, man? No.
I mean, that's pretty much the run right now. I mean, that's what we got going on. Like I said, we're just we're mostly excited to release the Odius, man. We feel one was due. I mean, me and Steve talked a long time about it.
How many years has that been?
Talking about it or actually doing it?
Well, since the last.
It's like 22 years.
Wow.
I think Psychotic was it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's 2 songs. So this is kind of cool with the album. So after Psychotic, we did the show at the old Peabody's, and we were starting to write the next album, and there's 2 songs that Steve and Gene wrote, and we incorporated this on the new album, which of course Gene gets credit for those 2 songs. What's crazy enough about this new album is like with these 2 songs, like Gene is still theoretically in the band.
Right.
So we wanted to, capture those songs. So I pulled those up on YouTube and I just sat there and just listed them and I learned how to play them. And then, so those 2 songs are also added in. So it's kind of like the 2 songs after Psychotic are going to be on the new record, as well as the stuff that me and Steve wrote.
Nice.
So, yeah, so basically the main push right now
to...
is Untoured and Odious, and then any fun side projects along the way. That's basically what we're shooting for right now.
So what's the next show?
It's in September. I think it's September 25th. Untoured's playing the Zephyr in Kent. I might be wrong on that date. We just got the announcement. So we played the Zephyr last year with Untoured. It was really, really awesome. We played with Aval. Those guys are really cool, really nice people. So as far as locally for us, that's our next show.
Nice. All right. Well, Scott, I mean, unless you got something else, I mean, I think we covered your amazingness.
I'm just an ordinary dude playing metal.
Like I said, man, you're definitely my favorite, like not just locally, favorite metal vocalist.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
I have said this countless times. I'm like, well, nobody's Scott from Odius Sanction.
I always, I
it,
always feel with my vocals, like, especially with like more of the death metal elites. Like, I always thought maybe it was a mixed bag with how people felt. It seemed like back in that day there was like this like divide between like death metal versus hardcore. I remember a lot of shows I went to like out of state where it was like a death metal band would play and this group of people's outside.
yeah.
It was the hardcore people, and then the hardcore band, then they'd come in, then the death metal people would go outside. And then they're all looking at us weird because we're watching all of it. We're like,
right.
oh, this is all awesome. Like, what are we doing? Like, we should be watching all this,
And when you said that about hardcore, I was like, yeah, that's what it is. You're just an angry.
Yeah.
Well, you're not an angry man.
No,
but you sound like an angry man.
No, I truly am. There's a lot of anger inside of me. I'm not gonna. I mean, that's why I do what I do.
Yeah.
If I wasn't angry, I wouldn't do it.
But you're a very kind soul.
Well, I appreciate that. I try my best. Man. I do what I can.
All right, man. Scott Bryant.
Thanks for having me on the show, man. I appreciate it. Dude. Stay true to your art. Don't give up on art, man. Just keep creating. It's the most important thing. Don't leave this life with regrets, man. Just keep creating. Do good. Try to inspire. Inspire yourself. Inspire others. It's the most important thing.
You breathe in all this toxic fucking propaganda or whatever. You got to breathe out.
There's a lot, man.
You got to breathe out.
I hate getting older. It's all overwhelming and in your face. I appreciate you having me on the show. Thank you so much, man.
No, I thank you so much for coming here.
Anytime.
Thank you. This was a pleasure.
Likewise.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Scott Bryant, Odius Sanction, among other humans,
Untoward, Stresslord, Law of Destruction, list of Mercury Lake, ZWR 777. List goes on.
Nice. Love you, man. Hey,
love you too, bro.
Take care.
You too.
All right. Subseally, we are out.